welcome back to the vlog. It is Monday. I'm having a very meh day, feeling-wise. It's mostly Mondays that I like that. I don't know why, but like I never like the cliche of like Mondays being bad and stuff like that, but in recent times, Mondays really don't feel great for me. So yeah, technically I wanted to start the vlog tomorrow, but I thought, you know what, just check in. I did quite a bit of reading since the last vlog, and you know what? It's easier to not talk about like 300, 400 pages at once. So yeah, I did now read the first 200 pages of You Like It Darker. I have really mixed feelings so far about the book, which I didn't expect. I normally really like Stephen King's short stories. The thing is, I like the first couple. I think, let me look it up. So I like the first three, which is Two Talented Bastards, The Fifth Step, and Willy the Weirdo, which are just mainly stories about human beings and like different aspects, positive or negative, of human beings. The Two Talented Bastards story is an alien story, but a pretty positive one. And then The Fifth Step and Willy the Weirdo are pretty dark stories that are just like showing the bad side of humanity, pretty much. And then I'm stuck at the moment at the story that's called Danny Coughlin's Bad Dream, and I hate that story. And it's sadly one of the long short stories in the book. I'm halfway through the story. It has 200 pages. I don't like it. As much as I like the first three, I dislike this one, and it's mostly because it's a story about somebody who has a dream. In his dream, he finds a dead woman, and when he wakes up, the dream stays with him. Like, he doesn't lose memory of the dream, and so he looks up the place he saw in his dream, realizes it's a real place not too far away from him. He drives there, he finds a dead woman in real life, and then he makes an anonymous phone call to police and is like, yeah, there's this dead woman, you should pick her up. And obviously they come after him and they think he's who's done it. But the thing is, like, there are two cops from the KBI, Kansas Bureau of Investigation, and the guy has obviously OCD. He has a counting tic where he has to do things a certain amount of times, and he counts with that. So it's pretty obvious OCD. And the guy is like, he did it. He's really sure that our main character did it. And then there's the woman who is like 5 years with the Bureau, and the guy's 20 years with the Bureau. And she isn't totally sure, but like everything they do investigation-wise is telling that he didn't do it. And so yeah, it's a really irritating story because we all know that there are cops in real life who behave like that, but the story is so frustrating. I mean, it could be that our main character is just lying, like an unreliable narrator, but even if the story ends like that, I'm gonna be annoyed because it's just frustrating. The whole story, we're halfway through, and it's just, you know, he has a bad reputation now. They have not found one piece of evidence, and they haven't searched for anybody other than the guy who called it in. And it's just a really frustrating story, and I don't really see it going anywhere. So that's how the reading is going. But I have read enough for today, so I will continue with this tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, I think I knit too much over the last couple of days. I have a little bit of pain in my wrist and quite the soreness in my arm. So yeah, I have to take that a little bit slower, but I will show you my progress tomorrow because right now my desk is really chaotic and I can't get to all of the things. But yeah, that is what I wanted to start with. Also, Zach told me in the comments that I should reread Cujo before I read the rattlesnake story in here. So once I get it's like 200 pages more, and then comes the rattlesnake story. So before I come to that story, I will read Cujo. So we will start that as well this week, and then probably end with this book at the beginning of next week. I doubt that I will be able to read both of them this week because this book has nearly 700 pages, even though it doesn't look like it. But it does have nearly 700 pages. And Cujo also isn't the slimmest book, so yeah. We'll see how far we will come. But yeah, right now I'm just frustrated with the story. And so hopefully that will change. Okay, I changed my mind on the story in this one. I did like it in the end, the longest short story, which is called, let me tell you the name again so you can keep track of it, Danny Coughlin's Bad Dream. And it was indeed a really bad dream. I think in the end I liked it. I think what came through was that my frustration tolerance is like really low at the moment because of like everything happening. And so I got really frustrated with one of the characters' behavior. But like in the end, it was a really important part of the story that was really fitting. And I think actually this is like that the story was quite impactful actually. I think it depicts what's kind of happening in real life again and again in like investigations into suspects that may not be actually guilty. And I think that actually worked out well for the story. It was really hard to stay with the story because how infuriating the behavior of the character was, and also the behavior of certain characters who kind of like changed their behaviors, and that grew through the story, you know. But like yeah, it was really infuriating, but that kind of makes it a good story also. So yeah, in the end I did like the story. I think it made sense. It was really understandable, and yeah, I don't hate the book, which is great. But yeah, that means I'm now halfway through the book. I'm now at the next story. So I think I have, let me look at it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories before I will read Cujo. So we have 5 short stories over 110 pages. So 20 pages each, roughly, which is a sweet spot for me for short stories, until I will then pick up Cujo and then continue with the short story collection. But yeah, I guess I will probably read all of those stories tomorrow, and then I can start with Cujo on Thursday, which should work out. And yeah, I'm really happy with this short story collection so far. After getting through the story, I did really enjoy all of them so far, and I would say the topic, I think it's kind of funny that it's called You Like It Darker, and instead of making like really disturbing stories, he went like, okay, what can I show you of the depravity of humanity? And yeah, it's dark. It's really dark. It's especially in current times, and kind of like feeling like a lot of people are just really off their like just really crazy. I feel like whenever I hear about some of the current news stories, I feel like people have lost their mind, which, you know, feels like such a crazy thing. But yeah, it's I don't know, the book kind of shows that as well, but the stories aren't realistic enough for me to it being a problem. They are Stephen King stories. They all have supernatural aspects in them, pretty much. So I think that's fine. It's not like with last week's book where it was like too realistic. Like this has, you know, some supernatural stuff in there in all stories so far, so that is good. Other than that, I wanted to show you my knitting because I have made quite a bit of progress. Let me untangle this. So this is how it's looking so far. I am currently doing the front. That's how it's looking so far, and I am still incredibly happy with the color. Like, this is a color that makes me so happy just to look at it, and I wish it was already finished so I could wear it, but my hopeful plan is that I can finish it to my birthday and then wear it on my birthday, which is in 19 days, so it's not all that realistic if you look at it, but that is my hope, kind of. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I would wish that, because we're staying home on my birthday. I'm not somebody who does a lot, and the party just makes no sense because all of our friends can't really come because they have new animals that can't be left alone, and you know, that is something I'm really understanding for. So my partner and I will build the big Batman Lego set, the new one, and I will watch the Batman films for the first time in my life because I have never watched them. So we're gonna make a film day watching movies and building Lego on my birthday, which I'm looking forward to so much. And so yeah, I would love to wear the sweater for it. So yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit more of Silksong now because I'm making great progress with that as well. And once I've played, I don't know, maybe like an hour more, I will hunker down and continue and knit as much as I can today. And yeah, my reading for today is done. I've gotten my 100 pages in. I'm trying to aim for 100 pages again because I felt like that was a good amount for me each day. And that makes like 700 pages a week, which works out for like a good amount of reading in a week, for my personal opinion. So yeah, that is what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the reading, even though it was kind of like getting in my head, but you know, it was a brilliant story in the end. It's just, I was so invested in the story that it got me angry at parts. But yeah, that is where I'm at so far. Work is crazy. That is a totally different topic I try to avoid, but yeah, work is a lot. I also kind of need to edit Thursday's video, which I haven't started yet, so that will have to happen at some point as well. So yeah, I will see you with an update on the next 5 stories of You Like It Darker. So it took me a day longer to get to the point in the short story collection where I now have to put this on hold and read Cujo. I'm a little bit distracted right now by video games, so I'm doing less reading. But yeah, the 5 stories that were between last check-in and now are all in the same vein as the other ones. I really enjoy this book. I think it's kind of an interesting variation of humanity in each story, and though they all have dark elements, I feel like they are pretty different in the darkness of them. Like, one didn't feel that dark, but it had a dark like aspect to it, but it wasn't too bad, you know. I wouldn't say these are like horror stories per se, but I am really enjoying the book, so nothing negative from me there. I think they are all really interesting. But yeah, obviously they're short stories. I'm not gonna go into detail for like a 20-page story, but like one is about a dog. Then we have one where a family gets robbed. We have one with airplane turbulences and stuff like that. So it's like a broad spectrum of different stories, and all of them have this aspect of humanity and dark sides of humanity and good sides of humanity, kind of. That is where I'm at right now. So yeah, I'm gonna put that away and I'm gonna start with Cujo tomorrow, which I'm gonna be horribly distracted starting tomorrow, because tomorrow Little Nightmares 3 comes out, and I just got my collector's edition. I ordered the collector's edition because let me show you what was in there. I got this little, I don't know, if you're a gamer, you may have one of these. This is my custom controller because, you know, every girl needs a custom controller. But in the collector's edition was this controllers holder, or you can put your phone in here, and it's one of the gnomes out of Little Nightmares with a sausage, and it's the perfect, like, it works perfectly, and I wanted to have one of these forever, and then when I saw that the collector's edition would come with one, I had to get this. Also, like, I think the colors of my controller are like pretty brilliant, if you ask me. But yeah, so I have that now. And then the second big thing that was in the collector's edition is this little statue with the 2 main characters, which you have, I think this is Alone and this is Low, but I'm not 100% sure. It's quite a while since I played the second game. But yeah, we have this one, and this is actually a music box, and if you turn it on, you have some creepy music that gets creepier. I think it's part of the soundtrack of the game, and our little characters turn around, you know. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It wasn't too expensive, the collector's edition. Obviously, I also got the game. But yeah, that was really exciting. The game comes out at midnight today, like tomorrow, whatever you want to see it. So I can start playing it once I'm done with work tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I think the reading will be a little bit more sparse in the next couple of days, whilst I get a lot of my Little Nightmares 3 out of the way. It's not, it probably isn't a too long game. I think the other ones were like maybe like 6-7 hours, so it's not too long. It's like a really creepy but cute game, and the main characters are children. But yeah, it's a creepy world, but I'm so happy about that game. Like, I'm so looking forward to playing that. So yeah, we'll see what the reading will give. I will try to still read, but you know, I love video games. Sometimes the reading just has to go onto the back burner for that. And then I wanted to show you the knitting. I will insert you a little clip here of how it was fitting this morning when I tried it on for the body. And yeah, right now I am doing the collar because my yarn ran out, and I'm always using that as an opportunity to do the collar, so I can see the fit it will have around the neckline, because it does get everything up a little bit, so I can see the length better. So yeah, I'm gonna do the neckline at the moment, and then I will start with the arms after that, and then at the end I will finish the body. But yeah, I have to say I really love it so far. It looks really cute. I'm still absolutely in love with the color, and I am actually enjoying the knitting of this, because obviously it's not only stockinette, it's like a lot of mixtures of knit and purl stitches, so it's a little bit more interesting than like a basic stockinette thingy-majiggy. So yeah, that is kind of what's up right now. Yeah, I am happy to start Cujo tomorrow, and I'm happy to do the game tomorrow, so I will switch between the two probably. Also, tomorrow's Friday, so the weekend starts tomorrow, which is also great. So yeah, I also built a cute little Lego set, because the birthday present for me and my partner together came, the Lego set, and we got this cute little ghost like as an extra, which we didn't have to pay for, and as you can see, it's a really cute ghost. Yeah, that will go on the shelf with the knickknacks. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow with the start of Cujo, and maybe a little bit of gameplay footage if I can manage that, but probably not so interesting for you. But yeah, I'm so excited. Good morning. It is Saturday around noon, I think, right now. I'm really warm. I just did a whole lot of housework, which needed to be done this morning. Let's start with the reading, I would say. I am at page 100 now with Cujo, so not as much as I would have liked to read, but you know, I have other hobbies too. But yeah, I'm this far in. Cujo has like a beginning that is fine. I don't love it. I think he has way better beginnings to books. There are way worse out there. I just, you know, Cujo has a lot of unlikable characters in them, which I think is pretty reasonable, because even though Cujo is the perpetrator in the book, I think I'm much more rooting for Cujo than a lot of the people that are in this book. Let's just say it like it is. So yeah, but I am enjoying the book. I think it's a good book. It's just, you know, there's so many unlikable people in there. It's a lot. But yeah, that is what I will be continue reading in next week's vlog then. Other updates than that is I played my game yesterday. It was a disappointment. But it's kind of my own fault. I'm still glad I bought the collector's edition because the gnome that was in there is like from the first games. They do come up in the third game, but yeah. What I didn't know, because I didn't do the research, is that the third Little Nightmares game is done by a different studio and publisher than the first two. So it feels like a cheap copy of the first two ones, because they did nail the visual. Like, the game looks really good, but the playing is like so empty. It feels really, really empty, not scary at all, which the first ones were quite scary in my opinion. And so yeah, and then they went ahead and like rebuilt scenes and scenarios from the first two games, and that was so lame. Like, obviously the visuals were different because the characters are different, the enemies, but the gameplay was 1-to-1 taken from the first two games, and obviously that's a fail. That's like a real fail. So yeah, the game in itself is sadly a disappointment, which if I would have done some research, I think I would have clocked that it's probably going to be that way. It's like, it's a lot of the times if you have a video game series and one game is done by a different publisher, oftentimes the game feels a lot different, and that's often a not so great thing. Like, it can be an okay thing, but oftentimes it's a problem. And that is the case with Little Nightmares. So if you ever want to play the series, play 1 and 2 and just ignore 3. It's not worth it, to be honest. Not for the price. It costs 40 euros. So probably also $40, which is a lot for such a small short game, because it is a short game. I think I'm probably already around halfway through. And yeah, I'm not loving the experience, but it does look nice at least. But yeah, that was kind of a fail. And other than that, let's do a knitting update. I am still trying to finish my sweater for my birthday. It is unrealistic, but one can dream. What I did over the last couple of days is I finished the collar. I think this is my best collar I've done so far. It has fantastic stretch even after binding it off, because it is a folded collar, and so binding it off here is always pretty complicated to get it stretchy enough so that it fits over your hand nicely. And I think this looks such it looks so good. I think it looks really, really professional, which makes me really happy. And it fits nicely. And then I have started on the first sleeve, which this is the first time I did short rows on sleeves. I always love if I learn something new with a pattern, and this pattern uses short rows to shape the sleeves, as you can see with these stripes. And that was really interesting. I've never done that so far. And yeah, that is how far I've come. It is taking a little bit, but I mean, it looks so good. And it is a lot of fun to knit. I have a lot of fun knitting this. And yeah, I'm just hoping it comes out the right size. It is pretty fitting right now when I try it on, and I'm knitting like 4 sizes larger than I would need to normally, because my gauge was smaller. So yeah, when I wash it, I'm thinking it might be like slightly oversized, which would be fine. I would have loved a little bit more oversized, but yeah, that's my bad for choosing a yarn that I couldn't get gauge with. But yeah, I think it's looking really great. So yeah, that is what I'm doing. I'm currently playing Stories of Seasons, which is, if you've played Harvest Moon, if you grew up with games, you probably know Harvest Moon. I loved that when I was younger, and that is one of the games in this series. It isn't called Harvest Moon anymore. There was, I think, some problem with the name. But yeah, that is what I'm playing right now, because I needed a really relaxing game, and I'm not in the mood to pick up the new game, which is really sad, but it is what it is. So yeah, I will probably continue with this one tomorrow, because I read like 50 pages today already, and we need to take my PC apart because my graphics card is doing things it shouldn't be doing, so we need to take that apart today. So we have a lot of things to do. My partner is at the vet with the dog right now, getting his vaccines, which was also necessary. So yeah, it is kind of like a getting my shit together weekend, so that's not really interesting for you. So yeah, I think we're gonna end the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed this week's reading. I had a lot of fun doing like a Stephen King week, which next week will probably be as well, because I do still need to finish both of them, but yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing with those two. They are a lot of fun, and I really did enjoy my reading this week. So yeah, that is kind of all for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to watch more of these vlogs, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.